Welcome to the Overcoming Mediocrity podcast, where today's top influencers and entrepreneurs on the rise share empowering stories and ninja tips to become the fuel that ignites a positive change in your life. Our guests don't simply coast through life. They don't let difficult situations stop them. They set big goals, keep their eyes on the prize, and they're joining us today to share insider secrets you can use right now to step into your power and live your purpose. Now, here's your host, Christy Ruffino.
Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to today's episode of the Overcoming Mediocrity podcast. I am Christy Ruffino, the host of the show, as well as the creator of the Overcoming Mediocrity project. And today I have the pleasure of having 6 beautiful women on, and you can't see them all. I can see them on my Zoom screen, but you're going to be able to hear them. You're going to be able to meet them. They're all posing right now. Terri's doing the thing. You're going to be able to meet all of them and learn a little bit about who they are, their story, and why they feel so compelled to share their message in the world through their voice and through their pen, as they wrote a chapter in our Overcoming Mediocrity Empowered Women book. So I want to give everybody that's on right now a group welcome. Welcome, ladies. I'm looking forward to getting to know you all. So welcome. Say hi, everybody.
Hello.
Hi.
Yay.
Hello. Hey.
All right. And so our book is going to be released sometime late June or early July. We don't have the official release date, but you are going to meet these women and take a note of all of the ones that you want to connect with. They'll have a different focus. They all have a different area of expertise, but I know they would be thrilled to have you hear from them and request to buy an autographed copy of their book. So we're going to start off first with my friend, Lauren Bergiel. I believe I said that correctly, right, Lauren?
Yeah, Lauren Bergiel.
Bergiel. Okay.
Yeah, very close. I've been called worse.
Okay. So I didn't get it perfect, but Lauren Bergiel, she is a lovely girl. I wish you could see her right now. She's got this really swoopy hair going, this asymmetrical haircut, and she has been a pleasure to get to know her. And she has a really great business right now, what she's created with her coaching practice. But she has a story that she lived through that is really lit a fire under her to really help the people that she believes that she was created to help. So Lauren, share a little bit about your story and why the audience should connect with you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Christy. I'm really excited to be in this book. So my story takes place when I was 33 years old and begins at the exact moment I found out I was diagnosed with breast cancer. And this news turned my world upside down, but it also gave me a very unique perspective on life. And in some ways, I think was very necessary. So the story follows me through some painstaking decisions and incredibly humbling moments where I could have simply just been at the mercy of life's unforeseen circumstances. However, I learned to do what I call now mining for gold, where I transform my struggles into life lessons and opportunities that ultimately empower me. I learned how to put life or death decisions, or any decisions for that matter, into perspective. I learned the power of gratitude and asking for support, and how to truly surrender to the present moment. At the end of the story, just when I think things are going to go back to normal, I learned that life was anything but normal. And after going through something like that, the story goes on to tell how I went on about finding my way and creating a new identity, but one that I had consciously chosen. Because a lot of times we end up the way we are in life and we don't really understand how or why. And I got to look at all aspects of myself and ultimately reveal my true identity. Now that I'm thriving and healthy, I continue to apply these lessons in my own life all the time. And I'm committed to sharing them with really anyone who will listen to me. As a professional life coach, I work with others who are struggling to find what's missing in their life and looking to create what they really want. I don't want people to have to go through a life-threatening illness or wait for a second chance at life to learn these lessons and delay living, a truly fulfilled life. So I hope others connect with themselves, challenge their limiting beliefs, and create a roadmap that will lead them to the life they really want and one that they actually design. So, in my heart of hearts, I believe that I discovered these lessons early in my own life so that I could share them with others. And I'm so appreciative for you and the Overcoming Mediocrity Project for being able to share my story and these lessons in the world. So thank you.
Yes, great job. I know I read your story. I've read all the stories. And your story specifically, we got a comment from our editor and basically shared how it was really impactful to him. He said he had tears in his eyes as he was editing your story, which I'm not sure if that was a good thing or not. I'm hoping that he had a Kleenex there so he could continue reading and helping finish his edits. But that was really cool when we shared that with you, how your story made a huge impact with him.
Yeah. And, it's humbling to hear that because we live with our own story every day. We forget how sharing that with others can truly impact them. And so it was a reminder to me that this story had to be told.
Yes. And you are going to be hearing over and over again once this book is released from people who have read your story and will reach out to you and thank you for being brave to share it. So thank you, Lauren. I definitely look forward to hearing all the testimonials from the people that have read your story.
Thank you.
And on to Jillian Von Ohlen. I know Jillian and Lauren were both referred to us from a previous author, Vicki Parker. And it's been amazing getting to know Jillian. And Jillian has since referred so many women to our project, women that have joined this particular book as well as our next book. She is just a networking queen in this as well as everything she does. So welcome, Jillian.
Thank you. Thank you for having me today. I'm thrilled to be here, not just with you, but these amazing women here.
Yes. Yeah, they're all incredible.
Yeah.
So you have a big message to share in the world.
Yes.
You are passionate about what you do in your business and what you're doing with this particular area, why your story has led you to pursue this passion.
Yeah. Yeah. So I have a lot of desires, I think, like a lot of people out there. And my journey begins ultimately where I was going through a divorce and I clung on to bodybuilding. I actually was starting a fitness company at the time, and it was just something that I really loved and started enjoying to do. But I was one of those people who I looked in the mirror and I said, I don't look like I should own a bodybuilding or a fitness company. So, I guess you could say, people would say, you're that skinny fat girl. I don't know if anyone, what that means, but it basically meant I had no muscle tone. And so I went on that journey of what that looked like for me and how I was going to get to my end goal in that bodybuilding arena. And after that experience, I was at a crossroads in my career path and decided and chose to do real estate. And I've now been a very successful realtor for the past 10 years. And I was able to take a lot of the same practices that I learned as a bodybuilder and transition that into real estate. Little did I know what I was preparing myself to do the few years that I was bodybuilding and getting to a place where I could now take those same practices and implement it into real estate. But it more so let me know at the end of the day that anything I put my mind to, and I believe this is true for anybody out there, that anything you really put your mind to and create the vision of that you have it, that it's already a done deal, that you can lay out the path of how you get there. And it's not going to look pretty. It's not going to look exactly how you think it's going to look. And you're going to ebb and flow and cross roads in all different places. But you hold that vision true, you will get to that end goal. And I have now created that in my life with my real estate business. So I personally love to work with mom real estate agents. So like the mompreneurs out there. And that is really my main focus. Obviously, if you men are listening, I will totally welcome you in too. But I have fun, and I love teaching people not just like the high 50,000 foot level of what it could look like. Like I love working on that like ground level and just tearing things apart and creating like that vision of what you can create for your life. And it's not just about real estate. It truly is about your life and what you want to have occur for yourself. And so it's all about the creation and the execution on it. And that's just a little bit about me and my story and what excites me out there.
Yeah, when you shared, I know, well, let me back up a little bit. I know when I talk to women who are wanting to be in our books, I think a lot of times they struggle trying to determine what their signature story is. And I know I had the same struggle, and I still have different stories for different outcomes that I want to communicate. But when we were talking and you were not quite sure, and you shared how your bodybuilding experience was one of the things that shaped you. And as we talked about that more, I'm like, my gosh, that is so powerful, because one of the things that we all struggle with is creating that change. And yes, Lauren had something that was pretty impactful, like life threatening, that created that change. But you don't have to wait for something to force that change. Yes, you went through a divorce. It wasn't life threatening, but you realize that change is something that we can create if our desire is great enough. And you're using those principles that you learned in that bodybuilding journey to really create a huge impact for your clients.
Yes, exactly. That was well said. Thank you, Christy. Because yeah, it's so true. You know what, the vision that you hold, and I have it that a lot of adults stop dreaming and stop creating visions and stop creating what their reality can be for them. And so they just kind of live their life, and I hate to say it, but like wait to die,
Right.
and all of us women here, I know, are not here to have that type of life and have that type of end result, that we're here to create our life and have it be by design, not by default. It's truly a gift that I feel we're given, and you get to live into that.
Yes, we are all overcoming mediocrity, right? We are all going and doing big things in the world.
Absolutely.
And now to our next big thinker, we've got Terri Lynn Yanke. And Terri, as well as Jenni, who you're going to meet in a little while, were connected, or I met them through the Engaging Speakers community. And Terri is in Wisconsin, so we're not super close, but we have been able to see each other in the same room here and there, where some of these women we haven't. We've just seen each other virtually and have spoken. But Terri is brilliant at what she does in the event space. And she has a passion to create event experiences. And that all stemmed from her story of, well, I'll let her share it. Go ahead, Terri. I'm not going to give away give away the good stuff. I'm going to let you share that.
Well, thanks, Christy. It's kind of like, it's one of those things. It's like, why are you the way you are? And Christy helped guide me to kind of think back, and why am I the way I want? Why do I love connecting with people? Why do I love gathering people? And it kind of stems back, and I'm not going to spill the beans either, because I want you to read my story, but it stems back to my childhood. And then I went into, I grew up, I went into corporate America, and it forms you to do things that other people think you're brave but for me, it was just kind of like, I just kept on thinking bigger. And for me, what it led to is that it led me to my passion. And so it's kind of like, it was a long road. And I kind of want to encourage people everyone has a zone of genius of what they do, and that you need to sometimes go through different things that will finally lead you to your purpose and your passion. And it's so unbelievable when you match yourself up to what you're built for and match it with your passion, what brilliance can come from that. And so I just really want to encourage people that, some hurtful things can lead you to some unbelievable things, and would really love for you to read my story and learn more.
Great. Thank you, Terri. Yes, we have, I believe everybody, we all go through crud in our life, right? But it's taking that mess and turning it into our big message in the world. And that is what you have done. And I know you just did an event with one of my, I wouldn't say colleagues, mentor, friend, partner, whatever. Aaron Marcus just did a big event last week, and it was really cool to see you guys do a virtual event in person on a stage and all the great things that you did to make her event epic.
Yeah, it was a thrill for me being in the event industry to up level, to a better experience. And I'm all about creating experiences, and we were able to do that with an in studio virtual event.
Yes. All right. Well, Terri, thank you for joining us today. And our next guest is the beautiful Carmela Raimondi. And I like to call her our superwoman of our group. If you could see her, all she has to do is put on the superwoman, or is it Wonder Woman costume? And she would be the perfect, like I'm trying to, like if she would wear it for photo shoots, I would ship her the costume
Oh my God,
for our website, because she's beautiful and she looks just like Wonder Woman. And her story is the essence of overcoming something very challenging. So I would love for you to share a little bit about that, Carmela.
Sure, I will. Thank you for having me. I'm all these beautiful, amazing ladies here. I haven't met everybody yet, but hoping to meet you all one day soon, right? So I felt compelled to share my story because I enjoy helping others. I grew so much through my life experience and feel that others may learn from my life as well. I went through a lot. When my husband passed away, it just, it's a woman in a male dominated industry is like a diamond in a rough. And that's why I chose that title, of my story. And, and that made me strong in my life, people doubted me, like I wasn't going to be able to run my business anymore after what I went through. But that made me so strong. And that's what I want to share with everyone, that no matter what tragedy or obstacles you go through in life, that there is a light at the end of the tunnel, to never give up. There's hope. So I want to help others to get strong. And because I was going through that, I didn't take care of myself. And then I got into health and wellness. So I also take care of, other people. I like to coach them with their health and financially. So that's a little bit about my story, and I can go on and on. I'm Italian and I love to talk. So, but we're not going to go on and on. So it's a little bit about my story, and I can't wait for you all to read my story.
So just to give everybody that's listening a little backstory, her business is in concrete. Construction, concrete. Yeah. So it's a complete male dominated industry. And I know she was kind of faced with a lot of decisions, and she didn't take the easy route. No. She took the route that she felt was the right route for her and her family. And I know it was challenging, but she came out.
Yeah. It was challenging. I was very young when I got married, and I had a wonderful marriage, but you just never know what's going to happen in life. And then you're hit with this, but you got to just think positive and keep on going, because, life goes on, and, and that's what I want to share with the entire world. So.
Yes.
Thank you.
Well, thank you, Carmela, for joining us today and sharing your story. Next, we have Lisa Bleicher. I met Lisa, I believe, through Jillian. Jillian connected us, and she has a great business. She's on break right now. She had to like block out her client appointment so she could be with us right now. But she has an amazing story on how she serves her clients. So Lisa, welcome, and please take a moment to share your passion, your story, and why you feel so compelled to help your clients the way you do.
Great, thank you. And thank you, Jillian, for referring me. You know, it's interesting being involved with this whole process of writing the story. I never really realized how much of my life really made me make those choices, you know, but going back and looking at it, it really like, wow, these are why I made all these steps and choices that brought me to the choice to become a chiropractor. And I never really put it together. I just felt, oh, I fell into that pocket, and it was an awesome, you know, choice to become a chiropractor. And but yet I look at my history. I was sick when I was young and was on a lot of medication as I was growing up, but I never got better. You know, the symptoms went away, but then I would get sick again. The symptoms would go away, I would get sick again. And finally, as a teenager, I just said, I'm not doing this anymore. And when I stopped doing all that, then things started to open up of starting to see that there is health beyond. And then going to chiropractic school, which is pretty amazing. And plus, I practice different than most chiropractors. So we teach people about what health really is, where it comes from, and how to create real, true health. Very different than what we've been brought up in this medical society, right? So when we're, you know, we feel okay, we're okay. When we don't feel good, we go to the doctor, and then we treat that symptom, and then we sort of think we feel okay, and we just go on. But there's so much more to health. There's so much more to create. You know, we think health is like a one-stop deal. Yep, just fix me, I'm on my way. And it's the total opposite. It is a complete journey. And as I started going on this complete journey of finding out about proper nerve supply with chiropractic, which changed my life tremendously, and not in the way people would think of back pain or neck pain, but it charged me up, gave me energy, and ended up becoming a single mom. So I really needed to work on my health to be able to run the practice and then take care of my kids at the same time and take care of the home and all of that jazz. You know, so I really needed to keep myself on my game, top notch. So I started looking into researching and learning about everything I possibly can that goes on our body, in our body, our thought process, how it affects us. And that's where the beginning places where I really start with people is their mindset about what health really is, and then educating them about that and then bringing them beyond. So being a chiropractor for 35 years now, I've changed a lot of lives, and no doubt it's amazing getting people who couldn't walk to walk. I had women who became pregnant that couldn't get pregnant, just amazing things like that. And but yet, as my kids grew up and they started to go on their way, I knew I needed to reach out and touch more. So moved out into the coaching world and the speaking world to be able to bring this information to people so they can change their lives. You know, it's so hard when we live in a scenario of what they call healthcare is really just a medical treatment procedure. And you want to go do the other health things, but they're not covered by insurance and these kinds of things. So it sort of keeps everybody stuck in that medical realm. But a lot of people are frustrated now. They're sort of stuck. They're on medication. They're still not getting well, or they're just surviving. And I really want to see people thrive and be able to live an amazing life. And basically by allowing them to increase that true health, that health potential that we have, this innate intelligence, this superpower we have in our bodies to be able to thrive by doing all the things, not only from the outside in, but from the inside out as well. So basically what I do is I help people create this true health scenario, turning on that innate intelligence, not just treating that symptom, not just surviving, to be able to allow that innate intelligence to give them the strength, the power to live a life of ease and not be stuck on medication and thrive with their health. It actually creates such potential. And we know if we have our health, it affects how we parent, it affects our businesses, it affects our relationships. And number one, it affects how we feel ourselves. And that's really important. So I'm on a mission to get out there and change the world. Always had that in my blood. really wanted to work with children. And when I found out in chiropractic that I could work with children, that's what was the last choice that made me step over that line to become a chiropractor. But it allowed me to change children's lives, especially my 3 young children that are not medicated, not vaccinated, not polluted with drugs, and are extremely healthy and thriving. So it's a beauty and a graceful, blessed. I can't say anymore.
Well, you said a lot, and that was fantastic. Because you are so true. I mean, it's the healthcare field is not really about healthcare, it's about sick care. And if we can let our bodies work to their potential and keep us healthy, we're going to live longer and better lives. And I love that you're really, that's a big passion for you.
Right. Well, you touched on it earlier, about living longer, but with not full life. Now, if we have full life, it makes a big difference in the quality of what we live.
Yeah. Yeah. And actually, another one of the authors in the same book shared a statistic about how our lifespan is now starting to go backwards and we're not living as long. Well, not necessarily us, but our future generations will not be living as long as we are. And so that curve is starting to go down, and that's scary.
Yeah, the generation right now of children, over 50% of children are on a daily medication for a chronic illness and disease under the age of 18. They're actually the sickest generation. They're sicker than their parents. And that's a sad statistic. That's a sad statistic. We need to turn things around and change that.
All right.
Not to get rid of medical care, because that is very well needed, but we need to turn on health first.
Love that. Love that. All right. Well, thank you so much, Lisa. And I can't wait for everybody to read your story. And next we have the beautiful purple haired Jenni O'Connor. If you could see her, she's got like this amazing office. I watched, if you follow her on Facebook, because if you can go back through her timeline, you can see the whole construction of her office and everything she's done to make her video space beautiful. And I know she's got a studio. She's a pole dancer. She does all kinds of crazy, awesome things. So you will get to know more about her when you read your story. But today we're going to learn a little bit about her big passion in the world. So welcome, Jenni.
Thank you so much for having me. It's so great to be here with all these beautiful women. So my chapter is called Learning to Love Your Body When It Betrays You. And it starts off with my journey through a lifetime of medical issues, starting with emergency surgery at age 9 on Easter and traveling all through my life. And when you are someone who deals with chronic illness, it's so easy to see your body as the enemy. And so it took me reaching my breaking point to finally come to terms with needing to see my body in a different way. And for me, that came through pole dancing, as Christy mentioned, which seems strange, especially when you're a good little Christian girl who's like, I'm not sexy. Why would you take me to a pole dancing class? But I absolutely fell in love with the way that pole dancers view their bodies. And it's all about what you can do with your body versus how it looks. And it's such an empowering mindset. And it really shifted the way that I view my body. And I knew that this was something that I needed to share with other women. And so I opened my studio, and we've been open for 7 years now. And it's just amazing the difference that it makes in women's lives when we tie in the emotional work with the physical work. And that's what got me into being an embodiment coach, is learning to connect your body with your emotions and to use your body to access emotion. Because when we're going through trauma, when we're anxious, our brain actually numbs our feeling in our body. And that's a self-defense mechanism. It's there to protect you. But when you live in that state, like many of us do, and like many of us have for this last year, you start to lose connection with your body. So I help you reconnect that communication. I help you learn how to captivate a room with just your energy. I teach you how to reclaim your peace, and I teach you how to love yourself as is in all of your glorious imperfection, because that's what we are. We are gloriously imperfect. So if you're somebody who is feeling numb or disconnected from your body, or you kind of need to get your mojo back, check out this chapter. I really hope that it helps you feel a little bit more connected with your body.
Oh my gosh, that is so great. I just created a separate business entity for my coaching business, and it is Beautifully Imperfect LLC.
Oh, I love that.
So yeah, totally. I'm totally resonate with you on that piece. And um, eh, for you, I've learned a lot about you through working with you through your story. And I don't know if anybody else knows that Jenni launched a podcast herself. It's called Ashes to Wings. And I helped her launch it. I listened to a lot of her pilot episode and a lot of her initial episodes. And I, I'm very enlightened. I just didn't even have a clue about the things that she was going through and the whole process of the connection, what you just said about connecting your internal to your external with your pain and all of that stuff, how it all manifests. So I encourage everybody to check out her podcast.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it's very
Yes.
empowering to take control over your breath and your movement and feel like there are things that I control in my life.
I would love to learn how to control that pole, but I don't know. I don't know if I could do that at this point in my life, but
I got you, girl.
yeah. All right. So we want to wrap up shortly. We're going to take a quick break, but don't go away because we're going to go around to all of these women for one last quick nugget of not necessarily wisdom, but they have a special gift that they are sharing in their book. And I want them to have an opportunity to give you a little teaser about what that is. So you will be even more compelled to buy their book and not only read their stories, but get all of their free gifts. So hang on one moment and we'll be right back. I know. You hear us asking you to subscribe, rate, and review, but what does that really mean? Is it really that important? Well, if other podcast hosts are anything like me, they've put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into their show. And personally, I get really discouraged when I have something great to share and no one is listening. Beyond algorithms, ratings and reviews are critical for a show's sustainability. It goes way beyond fanning the flames of our egos or by getting a little that a girl pat on the back. Reviews create social proof and prove that our show has an engaged and loyal following. So if you like our show, please take a moment to subscribe, rate, and review. And while you're at it, pick up one of our Overcoming Mediocrity books on Amazon. You'll be glad that you did. Well, welcome back to the episode today. And we are going to go around for a we call it the speed round. We're going to give everybody here on the call a chance to share what their special gift is. I know they all have spent a lot of time making sure that they put together something that you can, the reader of their book, be able to download where they're sharing even more wisdom that they do in their story. And I want them to be able to give you a little teaser about what that is. So Lauren, what are you giving away with your story?
Yeah, so I am, as a professional life coach, I really feel that everything begins with mindset. So I'm giving away a free download, which outlines my 3 simple strategies to shift your story into an empowering context. Because when we have past hurts or circumstances, a lot of times we kind of play that story reel over and over again, and many times become victim to it. So in this download, I go through 3 simple ways that you can turn any hardship or circumstance that you're dealing with into a gift or an opportunity and actually use it to empower you. Because when we can have power over our past stories, they no longer have the power over us.
Amen. Thank you. That's so true. Okay, Jillian, what are you giving away with your story?
Well, I'm specifically, of course, helping those realtors out there. And I am giving away a listing, basically how to get more sellers. how to get more listings out there. And it's literally a step-by-step process. It's not just a PDF download, which of course it has the step-by-steps in there, but I'm also putting together a video for you as well, like a step-by-step process in a video series. So for any of you real estate agents out there that want to get more sellers, which we all do, come grab your free copy of that. And on top of it, you will also get a 1-hour discovery call with me to do a deeper dive into your business and just really see what it looks like and just see, it's free. So how I can just support you, like what I can do in that 1 hour that you just want to pick someone's brain that is in the top 3%, nationwide. And you have me for an hour. So that's it.
Great. And so not everybody that's going to be reading this book is a realtor, but we all know realtors. So this is a great opportunity to spread the word, share the love, and make sure everybody that you know who's a realtor has access to Jillian's story and her free offer. That's amazing. Thanks, Jillian. All right. Next, we have Terri. Terri Lynn Yanke, what are you giving away with your story?
Well, my story led me to my passion, which is my business, Eventful Advantage. And so my gift is for anyone who does business events, which should be anyone that reads this book. And so if you're an entrepreneur, if you're working in a company, if you have a small business, events can build your business and brand. And so I am giving away the 5 business event best practices to get the results you want. And that is my passion also, to not only do great events for people, but to help people who want to do it themselves or have teams to help them do them better.
Great. Thank you, Terri. Okay, Carmela, what are you sharing with your story?
So my special gift is giving out an invite to anybody to reach out to me, and I will coach you and help you get healthy and fit and also financially established.
Awesome. Thank you, Carmela. And then Lisa. Lisa has an amazing gift that she's sharing. What is that, Lisa?
Well, basically, it's going to be simple steps to change your health styles. And what our health styles, the things we do every day to affect our health. But it's 10 top tips so you can transform your health from surviving to thriving.
Great. Thanks, Lisa. And finally, last but not least, Jenni O'Connor, what are you sharing with your story?
I am sharing an empowerment analysis. So you fill out this form and it tells you where you are most empowered in your life and where you need a little bit of work. And I hand built this beautiful chart for you that outlines the areas of your life where you're really strong and where we need to kind of work a little bit more in that. So I also give you what type of goddess you are based on the elements. And we kind of deep dive into the areas of your life that we could see a little bit more growth.
Perfect. Oh, I want to know what kind of goddess I am. I'll have to make sure that I take that.
Fill out the form.
I will. I'd love to know that. All right. Well, thank you, ladies, for joining us. And thank you, everybody, for listening. I know it has been a pleasure to work with all of these women, to share their stories in a big way, to be able to make a big impact in the world. And one of the things I actually learned from Jenni on her podcast is she ends, I don't know if she ends all of them, but the ones I've listened to, she encourages the audience to internalize what they've learned by teaching somebody else. Because that is so important, right? We want to just not only hear and learn, but we want to internalize it. And it's a great way to do that is by sharing that message or that lesson with somebody else. So please take a moment to share this podcast or the book and the book with somebody you know. And if you do share it on social media, please feel free to tag me and any of the authors, because we would all love to support you and connect with you. And I encourage you to stay tuned for our next episode of the Overcoming Mediocrity podcast, where I will be interviewing the final group of women who are all sharing their powerful message in the world to make a big impact and to just change lives. So we will see you then. And thanks, lady, for joining us today. It was so much fun.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Absolutely. All righty. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening to the Overcoming Mediocrity podcast, where we believe that everyone can have the business and life of their dreams once they've learned the art of mastering their story. Mastering our stories is the key to everything we want in life. Our stories can either hold us back or they can propel us to new heights. We can choose. You can choose. Choose to overcome mediocrity with us. Let's achieve greatness together. To learn more, visit www.overcomingmediocrity.org. And don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review this podcast.